afraid of no ghosts.
Hi guys.
What's going on, guys? I hope everybody's having a great day. I know we are, because we are doing another box of our Ecto 1 build. Again, we're slowly knocking these boxes out, getting them done, and getting this car built, because it is a lot of fun and it is turning out wonderful so far. So we have another box right here, and this box, it has a little bit of weight to it. It's not too bad. I want to say it has enough weight to possibly be the tires.
I hope it's the tires.
I hope it is too, so we'll see. All right, guys, let's get into this box and see what we have for our build. All right, guys, so we have our box here. Our packing stuff. We have our shipping sheet right here. So this is going to be box 31 through 40. And it looks like it is going to be tires. And I think we're going to do all 4 packs in this video, because it doesn't look like a lot of parts. So we will go with 31, which is going to be the leaf springs for the car. And then 32 is going to be
your tires.
Awesome. So we do have 2 tires. This is going to be one of them. And it looks like we also have some hoses. They might be brake lines, I'm assuming, because we already have the brakes on. So I'm assuming those are going to be the brake lines for the rear or for the front, because I don't think we did front brake lines yet.
Yeah.
So we have that. And then the other side, which is going to be 33. Again, another leaf spring.
And then another tire.
And then the final tire. So we are going to have this thing as a rolling chassis in this video. I am excited and I cannot wait.
Here's
All right, so we will set this off to the side for now. And our book, issue 10. Let's see what we have going on in issue 10. What kind of fun behind the scenes stuff we will get into. Yep, so definitely doing the leaf spring and the rear axle, getting all that attached, and it is going to be brake lines as well. So we'll skip back here. Awesome. Okay, so first, usually they have a character in each catalog or each magazine, and this one is going to be one of my childhood favorite actors, because he was in so many great children's movies. That is Rick Moranis. He is an awesome actor. Actually, it's kind of sad what happened to him. His wife was sick and ended up passing away. And he stepped away from acting and doing what he loved, because he wanted to take care of his kids. And he wanted to ensure that they were taken care of and raised right, and that he was there for them. So he stopped acting altogether. I really wish that he would have had like a cameo in the upcoming Ghostbusters movie, but I don't think that's going to happen, because again, he hasn't done any acting. He has done some voice acting, if I'm not mistaken, but he hasn't been on screen as an actor in a very long time. But Rick Moranis, awesome actor. He's from various movies. I want to say he was on SNL, Saturday Night Live, but not for very long, I believe. But I know he was in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Honey, I Blew Up the Kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was on a lot of really, really good 90s movies that are, made for kids. But yeah, Rick Moranis, a lot of information about him. Awesome actor. He was very funny in this movie too, because he's the one that got possessed by one of the devil dogs, or the demon dogs, and he was the key master. It was funny. Very, very funny. He's a good actor. And then, awesome. So another behind the scenes thing is the living painting. Right here.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's the, remember we talked about it before in one of the last videos. He is the evil guy that's controlling like the slime and all that, because he was like a evil emperor and everything. Yes, that is awesome. That is Vigo the Great. And that painting is very cool. They're actually, you can buy a living, well, a full-size painting from like Amazon of that character. I've seen them before, which I mean, I wouldn't mind having a small poster of it, but I wouldn't get a full-size painting like they have in the movie.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool. Oh, living. Okay, so it says living, the living painting. They actually had a character. Maybe that's how they moved the eyes and everything. Right there. They had him dressed up and he's behind that. And I know in the movie, like he's watching and his eyes are moving. So it talks about that and how they did it.
So he was dressed?
Yeah, he was dressed in character like he is in a photo or in a painting. But he's actually like moving his face, because I know his face does change throughout the movie in that. And that's it. That's all our information about the movie, all of our behind the scenes facts and featurettes, which is really cool. Again, I like Rick Moranis, one of my favorite actors. He's just so funny. I do miss him. I do miss watching him in movies. I wish he would come back. Another one of his great movies is Spaceballs. He played Dark Helmet in that, which is, you know, just a great movie on its own. But yeah, so let's get into this build. Issue 10. It's going to be parts pack 31 through 34, and we are going to get this going right now. All right, guys, here we go. We have our parts kit right there, and we are going to be working with stage 31, the left rear leaf spring. And this leaf spring, it is metal, so that's really cool. It has some weight to it. So, I mean, the whole weight of this car, I can't wait to see how much this thing actually weighs. It's incredible how much so far. So, our rear leaf spring, we're going to start off right here with our shackles. So, we have shackle, and then you're going to use LM to push through. And then on the opposite side, it's going to be a PM screw. So we're going to get these shackles on real quick and show you the results. All right, guys, there we go. We have the shackles attached to the leaf spring itself right here. We have this side and this side all done. And this is one long bolt that goes through here and kind of swivels a little bit. And then this side, you have two. So that is done. And we will move on to the next side, which is attaching the leaf springs to the rear axle itself. So we're going to take that and attach it to our axle. And we will knock that out right now. All right, guys, there we go. We have this attached to the axle itself. And there is a little bracket right here that goes on over top of your leaf spring and then gets screwed right on there with one NM screw. So that side is all done. Now, it looks like we are going to be assembling the shock absorber, the rear shock absorber. So we're going to do this real quick. Take figure A, which is this piece right here. And then there's also a few springs and a plunger right there that we are going to attach with BM. And then once that's done, attach it to the underneath of the car on this side, and we're going to attach it with QM, and we're going to get that knocked out real quick. All right, guys, so I have our car on its side and our shock absorber is on right here, and there is one screw up top right here, if I can show you, right there. That's where your screw goes for that. And that is all done. Now that that is on, we're moving on to the next section. And it is going to be attaching the leaf spring itself to the actual car. So we're going to get it attached real quick. And then looks like it is held on with a BM screw on one side, holding it down. And then down here, we are going to be attaching the propeller shaft. So first off, let's get this rear axle attached to the car and go from there. All right, guys, there we go. We have our rear suspension attached to the car with our leaf spring. So I'll show you exactly what all we've done, because it seems like we've done a lot, because I didn't want to kind of mess with it. So starting up here, you have one screw up here that holds the shock absorber to the actual suspension itself. So that piece. And then underneath you have RM, which holds the shackle from the leaf spring. So we have that attached right here and here. And then you are also going to be fitting in your drive shaft from a few boxes back. You're finally using your drive shaft, so it's going to go in. And you may need to adjust it a little bit. What I did was I pulled it out, slid it in, and it fit perfect. And that slides all the way up through this channel to the front, and it plugs right into the transmission right there. So now that that is on, you have your screw for your shock absorber, and then you have one long screw that goes through here. And what I did was I kind of lifted up on the exhaust a little bit to get it underneath there to line it up. And that one is PM screw. And then that is done with that. Now we have one more piece right here, and it is going to be fixing the left outlet pipe. So it is a little flimsy back here. So to fix that, you have IP that's going to get screwed down, and it's going to hold this piece right here, and it is left over from when we did our exhaust. This piece right here, and it's going to be screwed in with BM holding it down, but from the other side going down, it's going to be IP, and that's going to hold everything together on your exhaust. And we're going to do that right now. All right, guys, there we go. We have everything attached. We have our bracket attached right here. All the parts on for the leaf spring and the rear axle, as well as our little shock absorber right here. That is done. And that means that box 31 is completed. We are all done. So now we can finally get into box 32. And this is going to be brake fluid hoses and left rear wheel. And we will get this going right now. Again, like our other videos, you've seen us put together wheels. 3 screws, make sure your holes are lined up for your both sides. Kind of compress the rubber on the tire a little bit to get them in. And then you are done. So we're gonna knock this out right now and get our tire put together. All right, guys, there we go. We have our tire put together. 2 sides, back and front, right here. And that is all done. All that is completed. Now, it looks like we are attaching the left rear backing plate, which is going to be the brake assembly for the rear brakes. And there's 2 little hoses on there, or 2 little pieces that stick out, little pins. And you're going to attach 2 hoses to that, and then you are going to attach it right to the car. And once that is all done, once it's attached, down here, you are going to attach 2 hoses from those onto the brake lines right there. And that is going to be completed. It looks like there's also a little bracket right here that we're going to attach with GM. And then down here, there is more hoses that go down and around to the shock absorber itself, and then to the other side. So we are going to get all this hooked together and show you the end result. So far, so good. It's looking really nice. All right, guys, so there we go. We have our brakes on, and they just kind of sit there. You also have 2 hoses that go from the top to the bottom, and those route around underneath the frame to here and over here. And then Also, from the shock absorber down here, you have 2 hoses that go all the way down. There's a little clamper here that you have to put on, and that is held on by GM. There we go, not so fuzzy. GM, and then going all the way up, those go under, and they just hang out there until we move on. So all the hoses so far for the left side rear is done. So now we will move on to the next part. All right, now that that is all done, moving on, we are securing the wheel. So right here, our wheel that we did earlier, it is held on by LM. And then don't forget to put your hubcap and the center cap covering everything. We're gonna get that on right now. All right, guys, there we go. We have the wheel attached and all of our hoses are hooked up. Good to go here. And we also have our next brake assembly all hooked up with hoses, ready to go for the next side. So next we have stage 33, which is the right rear leaf spring. And just like before, we have our shackles that we must attach on both sides, and we're gonna get this done right now and move on to the next part. All right, guys, just like before, we have our shackles attached right here on front and back. That is all done. Now we will move on to the shock absorber. Putting this together, and you have your 3 parts, your spring, your plastic piece, and your plunger. Get all that on. It's held by BM, and then you're going to attach it to the frame or to the body itself with QM. Get that all done right now. All right, guys, there we go. We have the suspension on for the right side, and it is looking good. We have our shackles attached. We have the leaf spring attached. Everything's on. That's all done. We also have our bracket, just like the other side. It's all on. Now we are moving on to attaching all of these hoses, all the brake lines, to the various shock absorbers and the brakes itself. All these get hooked up just like you did on the other side, and then we are done with this issue. So let's get all these brake lines hooked up, and there is a lot to hook up.
Yeah.
All in here, and we'll get it going. Show you what it looks like. All right, guys, there we go. We have all of our hoses hooked up from down here, going across all the way up to over here. All done. That means that this issue is completed. Issue 33 is all done. Now, last but not least, issue 34. 34, the right rear wheel and tire. And we will knock this out right here. Simple like we did before on all 3. CM screws, push everything together, knock it out, and we'll get this going. All right, guys, there we go. We have our tire attached. We have our entire rear suspension completed. We now have 4 tires on our Ecto 1. A full suspension, exhaust, and motor in the car, and it looks awesome.
It does.
Let's get a profile of this thing of it sitting on its 4 tires. All right, guys, there you go. There is our Ecto 1 on 4 tires.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Looking good. And that is done. That means this issue is completed. All right, guys, we are done with issue 10 of our Ghostbusters build, and I am happy with the way that this thing turned out. We now have 4 wheels, 4 tires on our Ecto 1, and it's great so far. What do you think of it so far?
It's pretty cool. It's detailed. My favorite part is the engine.
The engine is nice. I like it. It's amazing. This car is so much fun to build. I can't wait to get into the next parts because I think we have to start building the interior at some point. I don't know when we start getting the body. I want to
Yeah.
say it's going to be later on because there's still a lot that has to be done. So think about it. The engine's done. The frame's done. All the suspension parts. The exhaust. Everything's done. So it's looking good. And, you know, we keep adding on to our binder over there. We keep adding a lot more parts. And it's just, it's great. I'm so happy. I have no words to explain it. So yeah, 31 through 34, issue 10 in the binder, all done. And yeah, after this whole thing so far, the way it looks, are you impressed?
I'm very impressed.
It's amazing how much detail is in this car and in this build. I know, like I said, I've done model builds before in the past. They have never been to this scale and to this detailed.
Yeah.
Because there is just so much that you're adding and putting into this thing. And, you know, we still have a lot more boxes to go through. I want to say we have about 10 more boxes to go through before we start going month to month. Because this is all stuff that we stocked up whenever the pandemic hit. So we had it put away and we're waiting to do the videos. Now that we have free time and we have time to actually, you know, spend time doing it, we're going to knock it out.
Yeah.
My goal is to get 2 videos out a week. And once we do that and all the boxes are gone, then we will start doing the month to month, because that's when our boxes actually come. And in between those, we have other stuff planned. We have a lot more stuff coming up. Winter's coming up.
Yeah.
It's going to get cold out. I do plan on going up north, playing in the snow with the family. That's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, you know, everything goes good, everybody's healthy, and this pandemic kind of starts going away a little bit more, because it did kind of bounce back, but everybody's been doing good. So, hope you guys like this video. Please like, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.